Well, I think absolutely. Look, I'm from North Carolina. I spent a lot of time in the state. And I think that Democrats are smart to think about how to expand this map. And what we saw from the results in Ohio and Kansas and Wisconsin across the country is that abortion rights are an animating, motivating issue for Americans, for women, for young people across the board. And so I think that Democrats are smart to make sure that they stay on a message of the fact, and it is really clear in the Republican primary, Democrats support abortion rights and Republicans do not. It is a really stark difference, and I think it's going to allow for electoral opportunities that may not have existed before.
David, I want to get your take on something that Sean Hannity said. Take a look.
I think the American people, and I consider myself pro-life, I believe in the sanctity of life, but I think politically that Republicans have got to say, as Bill Clinton once said, I never thought I'd quote him, rare, legal, and I'd add the word very early in a pregnancy. That seems to be politically where the country is. Maybe I'm wrong, but we'll see. That vote in Ohio was pretty sobering.
I mean, David Jolly, just sort of to make sure that we don't think all the Fox News hosts are saying that his colleague Laura Ingraham called overturning Roe versus Wade the greatest achievement since ending the Cold War. Yeah. Why can't Republicans figure out a cohesive, coherent message on this? Why are they trying to send their base in the direction of a national ban?
Because I think they're following their passions and they're not looking dispassionately at the data. And I think what you heard from Sean Hannity there is a reflection of where the national data overwhelmingly is time and time again coming out of Dobbs. When we see state-level referendums that started with Kansas right after the Dobbs decision and then the Ohio measure this past week, when you look at some special elections where the issue of a woman's choice is actually put up in front of voters time and time again in a post-Dobbs environment, voters continue to reject the Republican position. And I think what is interesting, Sean Hannity quoted Bill Clinton. He could actually quote a Republican. I know progressives had a lot of heartburn over George Bush, but when Bush 43 was asked about this in 2000, he said, listen, I think the way to approach this is by changing hearts and minds. And I suppose that could be true for either side of this debate. But what George Bush 43 recognized is politically, many of the hardened positions of the Republican Party are out of step with where general election voters are. So this is a deeply passionate issue for so many people. But all you have to do is dispassionately look at the data, and it tells you the American people prefer a Roe framework over a Dobbs framework, and Republicans keep falling on their faces trying to